Strange Issue 1. I'm going to be honest with you. At first, this was an easy pass, simply because the new Sorcerer Supreme was going to be a new character. And no, it's not the fact that the new Sorcerer Supreme is now a woman. In my opinion, why do we even have to have new characters taking the mantles from these superheroes that have been around for centuries? Why change it now? Why do we need a Ben Reilly? Why do we need a Dylan Brock? Why do we need these individuals to take the mantles of these superheroes? Is it out with the old and in with the new? Our history proves that this is not always a good idea. In fact, one company learned the hard way in their attempt to reinvent a character. I'm talking about Hasbro in their attempt to pass the mantle to a new Prime. That decision devastated many of us, and to this day it still haunts us. One can only imagine how that meeting went.
I know how we can introduce new Transformers.
What do you propose?
We kill Optimus Prime.
I really don't think that's a good idea. Was it smart of Marvel to usher in a new character for the position of the Sorcerer Supreme? Despite of what I thought, this issue kept calling out to me. When I found out that it was tied into the death of Doctor Strange, I figured why not. The story begins with a character that we're familiar with, Doctor Doom, who feels he should have the position of Sorcerer Supreme, but Mrs. Strange, in a way, puts him in his place. The story focuses on Mrs. Strange's plan to bring her beloved husband back. You guessed it, the resurrection of Doctor Strange. The minute I read that, I was hooked again like a largemouth bass. Fish on? You better believe I'm on. And I like where Marvel's going with this story, or at least where I think they're going with this story. The story does have its action here and there, especially when we find the Sorcerer Supreme defending this little parallel world from a cartel of some sort. And I gotta say, as I read this, the character started to grow on me. As the story progresses, we find out that Mrs. Strange has put some kind of spell within the cosmos, within the universe. I assume it's somewhat of a spell like the one we saw in the recent Spider-Man movie. Her hope is that Strange will eventually come back on his own. Now, supposedly this spell gives off some kind of warning signal when somebody's trying to pass through. And sure enough, that warning goes off. Is it Mr. Strange crossing over, or is it something else? Is it her beloved husband returning from the dead, or some new entity that must be stopped? I'll let you read it to find out. Despite of what I thought, I really enjoyed this read. I don't see an attempt to exchange the mantle, but rather an attempt to restore the mantle where it belongs. Well, at least I feel that's where they're going with it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, get a hobby, and live life.